Hey guys, I'm April from Giggle Glitter Graphics, and this is my flip through of my travel journal. I had a lot of fun working on this journal. There's a lot of goodies inside, so I'm going to give you a quick all the way around tour. There we go. I sat my journal right on top of my blue distress ink. I'm going to try to get that out with a little rubbing alcohol, but I figured I'll do it later just in case I make it worse. If I make it worse, I'll just cover it up with something. So the journal measures, 8.5 inches tall, 6 inches wide, and about 2.25 inches thick. It's made with a product box, I think maybe pancake mix or something like that. There's an upholstery fabric on the outside, and it was one of those hanging samples from the store, which did have some grommets on it, and I used those for the closure. I'll show you that in a minute. The cover I have collaged. Ooh, close up. I got this 3D London sticker from the thrift store, and I collaged that with some German book pages and lace and a little cluster and some tickets and all kinds of little goodies on there and a bit of embroidery. I did a bunch of these little pieces. I got the hoop, I put the fabric in there. I made a bunch of little pieces like this ahead of time, and I've scattered those throughout the journal, and I'm so happy. I'm going to do that again for sure because I love how they look. So the closure on this journal is 2 pieces of fabric with a grommet in it and a length of super fun raggedy fabric that it's very, very raggedy. It'll probably disintegrate, but I love it. Give you another look at the side view with all the goodies sticking out there. And all it is, I tied a bow. Whoop, there we go. I've attached the fabric to this one grommet and then just threaded it through the second and tied a bow. And that is my closure. And that way, if I add more to this journal in the future, it has lots of room to kind of expand. I've already kind of hit its limit a bit. I'm right there with what is in here. I do intend this to be for a lot of journaling, but I'm sure I want to put some keepsakes in here, and those are going to need some space to live. So I planned ahead of time for that. All right, to the inside, got my front panel here. You might have watched the video where I worked on this. I did add a little cluster to it, the button there. And I have my travel notebook, and I could decorate this later, but I left it plain. So if I wanted to take it with me on a trip, I could do that. To make up for that, I did add some packing paper behind the belly band to just kind of make it look really pretty while it's inside. Most of this journal is done. The printables are my travel and style journal kit, so you're going to see a lot of that. There are some World Traveler journal papers, and then lots of bits and bobs from my stash. This little journaling card here. These cute tiny little paper clips I bought. I really love those. There's a pocket I made with a junk mail envelope. And a little tag here. I bought a whole new set of stamps just for this project. I'll link those in the description down below. Everything will be linked in the description down below. And they are fantastic. They were not expensive at all. And I used them throughout the journal. I did a little stamping there. It got a little funky. It was my first try, and I was like, oh, I should put something under that. Got some vintage fabric and a ruffle. Another little cluster. And I also bought a set of washi tape with kind of a travel theme to it. And I used that throughout the journal as well. So note paper from the kit under this little tuck. The tuck cluster. Some of that embroidery on there. Some journaling space. I have a couple of these. This one's going to be a little hard to see, but these are storage little pockets. There's an opening here. There we go. So that I can put some things inside. This one is empty. Got a couple of goodies in this pocket. We've got a hot air balloon, tag. And this is a little another notebook that I made. I tried to make myself a couple notebooks that I could take with, and I just did the washi tape on the inside. And this was kind of a scrap project where I grabbed all the scraps on the desk and tucked those in there and then decorated the heck out of the outside of it. And I really like how that came out. This is actually a card I got when I went to Mount St. Helens, obviously. So I thought I'd tuck a few pieces of my past trip keepsakes in here. A little cluster on the belly band. A little bit of music paper. And I had gotten a thrift store haul of these stamp stickers. And when I went through them, I assumed one of the packs was a repeat. It had flowers and bugs and things like that in it. And when I opened it up, it turned out that all the ones that were flipped over were travel stamps, and I was elated. So there's a ton of those in here as well. And I printed some of my travel theme, travel and style fussy cuts on sticker paper, and I've used those throughout the journal as well. Other side of the music paper. This is a combination of washi tape and lace. I felt like the lace wasn't jumping off enough. Let's see if I can get that. So I just ran a band of washi tape down, and I felt like that really made the lace pop more. Here's the other side of that plastic sleeve. I have an envelope from the kit in here, and I lined that with Russian book page. And that's ready to put something inside. There are 4 signatures in this journal. I did not mention that. I'm not sure how many pages are in each one, about 6 or so. There's another tiny paper clip. Let's see if I can get this off of here. They're very tight, those tiny paper clips, which is great because things aren't going to come out. And this was just the envelope that I made. I did a video where I made this envelope. It was inspired, there we go, this way. Inspired by Shabby Dabby Doodah's tutorial, and it has some book page. And I love doing it with these big image papers because when you open it up, it's got all these pictures on the inside. And then this fun little closure. And I have a page for writing, a little bit of washi tape to enhance the principle. There's some great writing space here. I just tucked a little cluster up in the corner to enhance it. Here is a collage page I did with some book pages and paint and stencils, and added that in. I had felt like there was some life missing throughout the journal, so I really wanted to get this kind of creative element, little lace on the edge, and a cluster, just for a little something something. That's the end of the first signature. This is one of the travel and style papers from my Etsy shop. More of that great washi tape. There's a bird tapping outside the window. I'm like, what's going on out there? This is a magazine page that I picked up. I did a little fabric cluster. There we go. Put a button on there. And I backed this in graph paper. All right, I had to chase the bird off. He was just tip-tapping away. The same magazine page. I thought she looked like she was on vacation and she would be fun in the journal. So I cut it out. I backed it with graph paper and did kind of a little angle fold on it. I like the crease it made in the print. Put a little cluster made out of fabric scraps and a fun button. It's one of those digitals poking through. And this is a fun little journal space there. I had fun with a lace topper on this page. There's lace and fabric and some of that embroidery that I did ahead of time. And I've got a couple of journal cards in here. That one, and I thought this was kind of fun, like take it in. I want to eat all those goodies. Lots and lots of writing space to document travels or paste things in. This is a tuck right here. I left that open and did some stamps, ink stamps, a postage sticker stamp, and some embroidery. And I thought this is one of my favorite little collages in the journal. Love how that came out. Got a tuck spot here to add something in. And this is one of those pages from the Smash book that I got at the thrift store. Pretty ruffle. Lots and lots of journaling space. Another cluster. I like this little flip out. I've got the bicycle image right there. And again, I combined lace with washi tape to kind of make a bolder edge, but still have that delicate lace look on. Kind of, I don't know, it's just something about lace sticking out. It's so pretty. And here we got washi tape and lace, one on each side. I like how that looks as well. I love this washi tape set. It's so, so cute. There, I've got another cluster on my pocket. I made myself a tall journaling card with some cardstock. And this is another one of those envelopes that I made with the book paper and cardstock. And this is my neutrals watercolor paper set. Trying to talk and get that wound back in. It's like rubbing your belly and patting your head. And that was the second signature. We're halfway through. Some more of that paper that I made with the book pages and the paint and the stencils. And I have started mass making cards and things, and I might do some videos about that. So I mass made some of these, and then I was able to just add a fussy cut or another decorative element, and boom, done. I'm reorganizing all of my stuff, and I'm gonna have to share how I did that and if it is even working for me. A little washi and a stamp and a balloon. This is an envelope for a birthday card my aunt sent me this year, and it has boats on it. And I thought that was so pretty. I had torn it open because I'm a savage, and I realized, oh, this would be so cute in my journal. So I saved it. And I've got the boat there and the ocean on this side. I thought that was great with the air balloon floating over the ocean. Some coffee dyed paper and a little fabric. And then we'll get to the other side of that envelope here soon. This was bubble paper. There's a little pocket there, ready to be filled up with fun stuff. Another pocket here. This time I put a cluster on this side, and I used some of those ripple scissors to kind of cut the edge on that. My brother-in-law lives next door, and it sounds like he's now mowing his grass. So if you can hear that, I apologize, but I'm gonna forge on. A little belly band and a cluster here. Another one of my envelopes. This one I put this Paris type image on, a little bit of lace. This one was made out of cardstock. I just love how it feels. It's got like a super hefty feel to it. This, I decided to play with color a bit. There was kind of these tealy blues in here, so I even went a little green with that. This is another one of those mass-made bookmarks this time. And I just put a little clip on it. Maybe I'll clip some things on there from my travels. Some washi tape. Some of that has like a gold foil, you can see on there. And then another Paris type tag from the kit. Here's the other half of that envelope. I left that as a tuck. It's sewn in here, so it makes a nice little tuck spot. We've got our little gondola guy tucked in there, and then there's another boat on it, and I thought that was so sweet. And there's some room to write. More of that painted paper and my globe. And that's the end of the third signature. I've got some more writing space here, some fun vintage trim on the side. Here I've attached an envelope directly into the journal so it flips open. If you watch the video where I made these, this one had to open to the left, so instead of opening to the right. It wasn't a big deal, but I wanted to get these prints kind of faced in the right direction. Some more of that clear plastic pocket. And some more cute tags tucked in there. I'll give you a little close-up fabric and the paper cluster on top. This is another junk mail envelope that I sewed in, and this one I didn't enclose the back entirely. I opened up the envelope and now it's kind of a tuck on this side. And I made this card to go in. There's a room to add something there if I want, or I can just let it be. And journaling space on the back. And then I use some stamps and digitals to collage the back of this. A little more of the same here. More of that book page paint collage. In this pocket I have stuffed with a tag and another notebook. So here's the tag, a little close up. And the notebook, it's similar to the one earlier in the journal. This one opens upward. I've aligned it with book pages, and I've got some little snippets of paper in here that I can write on. And these little fake wax seals, I love those wax seal stickers instead of having to mess with actual wax. This is a postcard my aunt sent me when she went to Italy, and I have saved it all this time, and I thought this was a great place to tuck that in since this journal is for me. So I'm putting my own sentimental type items in here in the long run. It's just a little couple pieces of piece of lace and fabric. This is the other side of the envelope. There was a little flap there. So I took a piece of master board and stuck some fussy cuts on there, a little bit of ribbon, and I made an envelope out of it by adding a book page to this side to cover the other part of that little tab. I used one of the tabs from the kit and another one of those wax seals to make a closure, and that just pops like that, little stenciling to kind of finish off the back. And I like how that came out. This was dyed paper, and I used the yellow food coloring on this instead of coffee dyeing the paper. Getting to the chunky side, here's some more washi tape kind of layered with lace just to get some interest in there. Get recentered, a couple more tags. There we go, postcard from the kit. Way off screen there. The other side of those clear pouches. There's an opening here somewhere. There we go. An envelope from the kit. Again, I lined it with book paper. And I think that was German or Russian, not sure. Piece of coffee dyed paper. I used one of the journaling papers from the kit and did a little lace and embroidery and a button. Here's the other side, little cloth cluster and a button. And I don't know whose video this was, and I had one or two of these earlier in the book, but these little embroidery flaws coming through the button and then tied in a bow is now officially my new favorite thing. I'm gonna make up a bunch of these and have them next to me in a container. I think it's a great way to spruce up kind of a plainer button and make it special. So you're gonna see that a lot from now on. And we've hit the back of the journal. I just did a little, I guess, kind of waterfall. There's a cluster on the top, and then I just layered some coffee dyed paper underneath of that. And I think I just stapled it together and glued it in. I wasn't too worried about, I'm gonna write on some of that for sure. So I thought that was a nice ending to the journal, and that's it. I hope you have enjoyed this flip through of my travel themed journal. I really enjoyed making it. I'm just giddy as heck flipping through it. It's going to be so much fun to document travels in, add in little paper keepsakes, that kind of thing. I don't know if I can add anything too thick or this thing is going to blow up like crazy. Well, thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to see future flip throughs or progress videos, please like and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video.